Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the One of Us podcast. We're so excited that you guys are here today. It's been a wild couple of weeks, a wild month. We've all been all over the place. Vic just saw Wicked on Broadway. Woo woo. Let us know in the comments if you're a stan for Wicked or not. I know the themes are a little iffy, but the plot is good and the movies are great. Vic, Broadway or movie?
Honestly, I'm gonna say Broadway. Whoever they got to play the main characters did so good. Their voices, beautiful. The acting, whoever was playing Glinda, dude, she had me dying laughing. So I'm gonna say Broadway. It was its own original thing. That was amazing. The movie obviously is still just as amazing, but watching it live where nothing is edited or done or retouched, I gotta give it to him. Play all the way.
Juan and I moved. I want to show the audience our couch.
For those who cannot see,
we're currently frat housing it for everyone. Whoever understands that, kudos to you. But we're definitely unpacking. There's a lot of great changes happening to the pod, so stay tuned.
We're frat housing it.
Yeah, apparently they're having a raver at their house on Friday.
They're
having a BYO. Yeah, a rave. Yeah, it's a BYOB, bring your own Bible party.
Ayo!
I had to clarify.
Vic, that's part of the questions I'm gonna ask. You're getting ahead of the game.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Well, today's going to kind of function as a little bit of a catch-up, a little bit of a game. So we hope you guys join us along on this game. It's a little would you rather, right, Juan?
Yeah, so just like Crystal said, it's a would you rather game, a little bit of a Christian twist, and also we're just catching up. Let us know what you would rather do in the comments, and just DM us if you'd like us to play any more of these types of games. The first one is kind of towards what Victoria already said, but would you rather have every church service be a Jesus rave, or everyone has to put in headphones and listen to your own music during worship?
Can you clarify rave? Like, what type of music? Is it like the...
imagine a rave and there's like blinding lights and fog machines and people are dancing and jumping all over the place? Or you kind of just put in soundproof headphones and you listen to your own worship till worship time is done?
I'm going to say listen to my own music.
Yeah, listen to my own music.
I think I would say rave.
I was actually team Jesus rave as well because I feel like, I don't know, it'd be so much fun.
I feel like it'd be fun, but sometimes I just like to slow down and relax. And with the raves, like you can't really just slow down. And to be honest,
I would get too overstimulated.
I'm going to sound so... Yeah, I feel like the light, because I love the lights and the effects and stuff, but sometimes I feel like sometimes the lights go right in your eyes and you're like blinded. What were you going to say, Juan?
Well, do you guys think that a Christian rave is kind of like Christianizing things? Like, you know how there's things that are maybe very worldly and you see Christians try to put a Christian twist to it? Do you think that's okay, or do you think that's like whatever? What are you guys' opinions on that?
I think if you're not... I think it's a hard line because either you say it's okay, and I know raves are known for like you basically being naked and a lot of times like drugs.
What kind of raves are you going to?
They wear like these booty shorts and these things.
Yeah,
that just cover
they're
your
very
boobs,
revealing.
And they're like netting.
That's why I don't like raves.
Well, revealing, but
Victoria's
like,
obviously
butt naked.
Victoria's obviously been
Might
shielded
well
by the truth.
But anyways, it's known for that. I know a lot of times there's a lot of substances involved in raves. I know too a lot of people like there's like hookup culture involved in raves. So I think those things, like to correlate that to something like about Jesus or Christianity, I think is super questionable and maybe be confusing to the world of just like what that actually entails. But then I think just having basically a concert, if you basically just call it a concert, then I think that's fine.
Do you think that Christians can take back things? Like, let's say, I mean, I don't know what's another example, but I guess the only thing that comes to mind is like, let's say there's a cooking show, but it's a Christian themed cooking show. Do you feel like that's putting too much Jesus in it, or there's no such thing as putting enough Jesus in anything?
I mean, you can never have too much Jesus, but I think if you're trying to do too much to take worldly things and I don't know, add like a twist to make it more appealing to the worldly culture, then again, we're not trying to fit God into the world, like into that type of world. Like Jesus is Jesus. I don't know. I just think sometimes we try a little bit too hard. Rather, Jesus is very simple to come to, very simple to love and to be loved by. So I think just call it what it is. Like Crystal was saying, it's like just call it a concert, call it a worship concert. If you have a Christian cooking show, just call it a Christian show where we glorify the Lord. Just keep it simple.
I kind of understand what Vic is saying, where you're turning things that are very worldly and just trying to slap a Jesus sticker over it, where maybe it like makes no sense.
I think too, if something is edifying, it's edifying. Like what you guys are saying, like a Christian coffee shop can be very edifying, like host Bible studies, do that. A Christian cruise can be very edifying because, you know, there's worship and there's a lot of different like engagements and things that you can do around faith. But on the flip side, if you were to be like Christian cannabis dispensary, Christian cocaine, Christian whatever, like you can't Christianize those things. So I think there's a line, which is why the rave I think is on that line for me, where it's like you can't really Christianize some of these things. They are just what they are, but you can definitely make things and businesses and organizations edifying, like kind of what we're doing, right? It's a podcast, but it's about the Lord and it's meant to edify and encourage. So I think there's a difference there.
I actually know of this DJ that does that. He does like festival type of stuff. It's hard to see. But he does DJ sets that's Christian.
Well, I think.
So would you
That
not
was
go to that,
hard.
Crystal?
I don't even know
What a
how you
sample.
can listen. You can't even hear what the words are.
Look, I'm not hating. I think that if you can worship God in any way, that's fine. But I wouldn't call that a rave. I'd call that more of like festival music, festival worship music, if that makes sense.
Then how would that even look like, the rave?
Kind of like how Crystal was just jumping right now.
But that's the same as a festival. People do that at festivals.
Yeah, I think it's the title. I don't think there can be such thing as a Christian rave, but there can be a Christian concert.
He literally
I disagree.
says when God pulls up to the rave.
I think it's semantics. It's one of those things where it's like, this is at the core of like faith, you know, of the things that matter, but also you just have to make sure, is everything you're doing to glorify God, or are you trying to make God approve of the decisions that you want to make and the events that you want to attend? So you just have to kind of balance that.
What if you're a raver and you dedicated your life to Christ?
Then amen.
Then you wouldn't be a raver anymore because you dedicated your life to Christ.
True.
And that's probably an area where they struggled, being that if they went to the raves, they were probably doing stuff. So it'd probably be a big temptation for them.
All right, guys. Would you rather have Chick-fil-A open on Sunday, or would you rather have the coffee shop at church actually taste good?
Chick-fil-A open on Sunday.
That's what I was going towards too.
I feel like I want to say
Chick-fil-A.
neither because I respect it, because people should. Where did Juan and I go? Oh no, that was Hobby Lobby where we went, and on the sign it says closed on Sunday to give people time to worship or something like that. And I was like, see, this is what we're about. This, I love this. So
So maybe they could just open later. Like they could open at 1.
maybe, because I do always crave Chick-fil-A on Sundays for some reason. It's like my mind and body know that I
It's
can't.
the
I think it's
Lord's
I think it's
chicken.
because you know you can't have it, so then
It's
it
the
tempts
calling
you.
for all Christians to gather together after church.
They should sponsor the churches of America and have Chick-fil-A's on Sunday for church.
Yes.
Closed for everybody else.
Dang. Chick-fil-A, if you're hearing, we have an idea for you. Why do you guys crave Chick-fil-A on Sunday? Tell me the honest truth.
It's being able
Honestly-
to want something knowing you can't have it.
That's what I
it is.
thought.
I don't crave Chick-fil-A that much, but for some reason it's like what Chris said, that sometimes like be driving on a Sunday, I'll be like, dude, Chick-fil-A's on.
Okay, I know this is changing the topic from would you rather, but I need your guys' all-time chicken restaurant ranking right now. And I'm going to give you 5 chickens, and you need to tell me which one is the best. Maybe I'll give you 7. So we're going to go with Chick-fil-A. We're going to go with Popeyes. We're going to go with Cane's. We're going to go with Pollo Loco chicken. And then we're going to go with the rotisserie chicken at Costco from Kirkland brand.
Chick-fil-A has the best chicken out of all those places. Juan, El Pollo Loco?
I couldn't think of any other chicken, okay?
It's the crazy chicken, Vic. Get it right. Okay, but high key Pollo Loco does have good chicken because it tastes like natural. It tastes like
Crystal's
chicken.
out.
Okay, I'll
Crystal's
give you a
out.
sixth option. I'll give you Chipotle in there.
Why is Chipotle
No.
in
Because
there?
everyone always
Chipotle
orders
is-
chicken at Chipotle.
All I know for me, Popeyes is lost.
Same. That's all I knew. As soon as you said
Dang.
Popeyes, I'm like,
That was
last.
all I know for me is Popeyes is garbage buy.
Dude, I never had Popeyes, and I remember once Arturo went with someone, and I was like, oh, I want to try it. That was the nastiest thing I've ever had in my life. I will never go back to Popeyes. I will never go back.
Don't you feel like that was the workers who made it worse for you, not necessarily the chicken?
No, because I literally judged it based off of what it tasted like. I didn't have any experience with the workers. It was a drive-through.
I'm gonna go Popeyes last, then Pollo Loco, then the Kirkland's rotisserie chicken, then Chipotle chicken, then Chick-fil-A, and then Cane's has the best chicken.
That's how I was gonna rate it.
I would swap Cane's and Chick-fil-A. I think Chick-fil-A, their chicken is softer, more tender. Cane's is good.
Vic, you go to
But I think
Chick-fil-A
they're a
like
little
every
more
other
dry.
day. I know you have bias.
Hey, it used to be Cane's. But Chick-fil-A just has better options.
Chick-fil-A has a more diverse menu. I give them that. But in terms of the chick, I still like Cane's as number one.
All right, hit us with the next one.
Would you rather be known for having great faith or for showing great love?
This is actually what I think. I think you have to be known by your great faith because that is tied to your salvation and your love is a fruit that comes from that. But you can be a person without faith and show great love. So,
Juan, your answers suck.
yeah. Juan, you got vetoed.
I
Oof.
chose faith. Crystal chose faith. Tati, you didn't answer, but we're going to say Tati chose
I
faith.
did. I said love.
Oh.
Heathens.
I'm just kidding. I get what we're saying. I mean, I think it's kind of like tomato, where like both kind of show each other.
I guess too, you can't really show great love without the love of God. Like you can show worldly, superficial love to people, but it's not like true love because God is love. So you can make that statement, but ultimately, like it's our faith in Christ that defines us and sets us apart. And part of that is how we love other people, how we are to be known.
I mean, faith and love kind of go hand in hand. So I feel like you can't have one without the other.
All right, the next one is, would you rather live a long and quiet life serving behind the scenes, or would you rather live a short, bold life preaching the gospel?
I prefer the first one.
Yeah.
You're like more
A long,
behind the
quiet
scenes?
life
Quiet.
behind the scenes, yeah.
I think the behind the scenes people always get overlooked too, because although the bold public person is like doing the heavy lifting spiritually, like preaching, like to get the message across, it takes like hundreds of people behind the scene.
I would say, take me out, Jesus. I'm ready to go out for the Lord.
I feel it.
I'm like, what's that story, Juan, of that missionary who like basically threw his Bible onto shore but got like killed?
I
but
forget
then-
his name. I don't even know if it's like maybe Christian folklore or there is a story like this, and someone can just quote it down in the comments. But basically, I remember we had some friends from, I want to say Japan or Korea. I totally forgot. But I want to say actually it's Korea. So I had some friends from Korea. They said basically the first missionary to come to Korea, he literally had a boat. I think he was English, paddled his boat all the way to Korea. He finally got to land and they shot him. But before he died, he threw his Bible onto the shore. So this guy died. And then there was an old man who was just walking on the beach and he found the book and he knew how to read English. So he was like reading it. He's like, wow, this book's like amazing. I'm going to literally put it on my wall. So he would rip page by page and he would basically laminate it or I don't know, plaster it on his wall. And like people around the country would come to his house to read the Bible on his wall.
I just think that's, you're living like sold out. Like my days are numbered anyway and my life is for the Lord. So, I mean, obviously the Lord is going to use me how he wills, but I just hope in this life, however long that I have, that it's like sold out, that it's risky, that it's bold, and that it doesn't look back. And I think that you can do that living a long, quiet life too. But I just think for me, I'm just like, let's
I think
send
the
it.
reason I think the reason I chose the first one is because the people out in the street preaching is what made me hate Christianity.
I chose the first one just because I think I like being a little bit more behind the scenes. I can't say I'm always great at answering, a lot of people's questions and being a little bit more forward and out there. So I feel like kind of being behind the scenes and continuing to serve I see it as a way to water the seeds that have been planted. I think Juan, you said it, there are people that plant seeds and people that water seeds. And I feel like I do a good job at watering the seeds, but maybe not so much as planting, just because there are some people who have some really tough questions. And I think a lot of those questions I'm still learning. I understand it because I'm like, oh, easy, I trust God, no biggie. Like, even if I don't understand it now, I'll come to understand it and learn about it. But there are some people who, want those questions answered, or they're struggling with it. And some people are just better at answering those or guiding people down the right path. Rather, I feel like people are in their faith. Like I do a better job at being able to just sit down and read the Bible with them and kind of encouraging and serving with them that way. So that's why I chose the first one.
Would you guys rather be the only Christian in your community, whether that's school or work, or be in a room full of Christians who don't take their faith that serious?
First.
Sheesh. That's right, because Jesus is a true
I already
friend.
live that now.
I feel like the Bible even says it's like worse to be lukewarm. And so maybe I would say the opposite, just because I would feel compelled to like help those people and pull them out of their like lukewarmness, or maybe their misunderstanding of scripture, or maybe their just laziness around their faith. But I feel like sometimes it's hard when like you see people who claim faith but are acting or doing or saying or believing certain things, and that's like can be harder, I think, than being in a room just acknowledging like none of these people know the Lord, because there are higher standards when you do walk with Jesus, or when you claim to. But I know even Paul says in the Bible, like sometimes people who don't even know the Lord like personally are going to do great things for the kingdom, and bring people to Christ, like we saw in the Bible, just doing it for bad motivations, and they may not end up in the kingdom, but maybe they'll bring some people along. So I don't know. Maybe I'd go the opposite. I think I'd change my mind.
What do you think is harder to do? Ask for forgiveness from somebody you deeply hurt, or forgiving someone who deeply hurt you?
Forgiving someone that's deeply hurt me, because I've done that a million times.
I think honestly, yeah, that one. Like, I think for some reason when you hurt somebody, like there's a level of awkwardness when you ask for forgiveness, but it's nowhere near the amount of pain I think forgiving somebody who's wronged you.
I'd probably say asking for forgiveness, because I feel like I let a lot of things go. I don't really hold on to a lot of things, or I kind of go down that path like, okay, well, it wasn't right what they did. And, in the moment I might vent about it and be like, this sucks, you know what, I'm going to egg their house. But then after a few minutes, I'm going to like, okay, you know what? There's no reason to hold on to this anger. I think probably asking people for forgiveness, because it takes like a huge amount of humility to admit when you're wrong. And you really have to let go of a lot of pride. And sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do, to admit when you're in the wrong. So I'd probably say asking for forgiveness.
I think I would agree with that. Like, it's harder, I think, sometimes to put yourself out there and like admit defeat and admit that you've wronged someone, even if you've done so in your own heart. Because sometimes I find myself being like, asking the Lord for forgiveness for something, and in my heart being like, oh, I'm truly sorry for this, or I was wrong in this way. I need to like pivot and like correct my actions. But I don't always, I think, go to that person and make that statement, even if I have like in my own heart. So yeah, I'd agree with that.
Would you rather spend a week with the disciples or spend a week with some of the old prophets?
I'm going to say disciples, because they walked with Jesus. So I'd be like, hey.
What would be one of your questions?
I'd be like, which one of the stories did not make it in?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. That's a really good question.
That's like would be good to share. Like, what's something that didn't make it in? Or, yeah, I would just ask them like, hey, like all of y'all, there were 12 of you, but only a few of you wrote books. So where are my other brothers at? What do you have to say?
Out of all the disciples, who do you guys think you would speak to the most? I'm going to go with Bartholomew because his name, 10 out of 10.
I'd ask him, why'd your mom name you that? I feel like she
First
did
of
me
all,
dirty, bro.
Victoria, your name is Victoria. Do we have to really go down that path right now?
Hey, I rarely ever meet a Victoria, okay?
Really, Vic? I know so many Victorias.
I know so many Victorias,
That
but they're
is
different
such a
ethnicity.
disgraceful answer.
They're
Nice.
different
I
flavor
know a
than
lot
you.
of Victorias and Tatis, actually.
The Victoria flavor I know is brown.
The only Victoria I know is Kat's Victoria, but I haven't met her. But I already know top tier.
That's my sister. So I have a friend. I have two friends, Victoria and Tatiana, and my sister has two friends, Victoria and Tatiana. I don't know why we pick friends the
But-
same name.
What are the odds?
But Tati and I came first, so seniority,
We're the
baby.
OGs.
Yeah, seniority.
Does your mom say anything about that? That's crazy.
I just thought it was funny. I'm like, what the heck?
We need to have a Tatiana and Victoria party.
Yeah.
With just us four and being like, hey, we came first. Respect us.
Hopefully they're similar to us because I think that would be iconic.
I mean, a little bit, actually.
Is
Maybe a little bit.
Victoria cool or
She's pretty cool. She's kind of like nerdy, kind of awkward, so.
that's insulting? What the heck?
Dang.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, to bring us back to the question you had, I would say no one's giving love to these prophets, though. What about Moses? Wouldn't that be kind of lit?
I mean, if you think about it,
I'd be
Moses
like, your
saw.
people made a golden calf, you ding dong.
But Moses did see like a Christophany, right? He also saw the back of God himself.
If I had to hang out with Moses, I'd make him watch Prince of Egypt.
But Prince of Egypt gets it wrong because Moses was like 80 when he talked to Pharaoh, but he makes him look like he was like 30.
I know. But I'd be like, hey, this is what we think.
This is what happens when you get Hollywoodified. You know, you got to find someone younger and more buff for some reason.
Yeah, I would show him all the different versions. There's a version with Christian Bale. I'd be like, hey.
Okay, guys,
that's
this
pretty good casting, isn't
on
it,
this vein,
Moses?
I actually do have something to say. I think it's so dirty at the end of Hallmark movies where like they do like a real life story of like a Christian story, and then they put the real life photo of the people and they look nothing like the actors. Like there was one time where like the actor was straight up 6 feet tall, buff, super tall, and his wife was super short. And then at the end of the movie, the guy was nowhere near buff. He was big, which is not bad, but he was big and shorter than his wife. So it was not a real life like depiction of his life. It was weird.
Hold on, you have to understand, people that are acting on television are like
I understand,
cream of the
Crystal, but this is
crop,
this is the feeling
they're,
I
like,
get.
not normal.
This is the
people.
feeling I get. Have you guys ever seen Chicken Little where they remake his life in a movie and they watch the movie at the end? No joke. That's what happens in every Hallmark true story movie.
Wait, why am I confused? Did I miss this part of Chicken Little?
How dare you, Crystal?
They remake his whole life.
Yes,
on
they go
screen?
see the movie. They go see the movie of how he saved the sky from falling, but like the chicken's all buff and like they all look like completely different.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Okay, yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I spoiled Chicken Little for anyone who was interested in watching.
That's like 80 years old. People.
Okay, this is a
seen it
good
by now.
question. How many, or I guess what's the length of time that's okay for something to be spoiler warning, and then after that time expires, like you have no more spoiler warning? It's like
5 years.
5 years. Yep.
okay, I'm gonna go back to the would you rather questions. These are more deeper ones. It's kind of going down the list. Would you rather see one of God's miracles, or would you rather undeniably hear his voice once?
I'm going to say hearing him say one thing once. I feel like if I heard the voice of God, I would just shatter.
But
I
it would
feel
be
like I would
anything.
just-
It would be like, let's say you're like jokingly saying, God, should I go to Chick-fil-A or Cane's? And he just whispered, Cane's.
One.
Vic, didn't you say that you heard God when you were in Passion Conference?
I did,
heard a loud
but
no.
I'm interpreting Juan's question like
Like
because
you
obviously,
just
like,
straight up hear it. Like it's like so vividly real.
I hear it I feel like hearing it is though like out, not inside, but out, where it's like it because
Yes.
it describes like his voice and stuff like is it that like a thunder, like it's loud.
Well,
and
actually, okay, I think I understand what you're saying, Vic. So how about I change this question a little bit to, would you rather see one of Jesus's miracles in the Bible or hear him preach one of his sermons in the Bible?
Oh, preach! What the heck? Absolutely,
But I
without a
think
doubt.
seeing him raise Lazarus from the dead would be absolutely crazy. Or just being there when they see him like alive after being crucified. That would be a cool like miracle to witness.
For me, I think it would probably be like a sermon, because I feel like I don't really need, not that you guys are saying this, but I don't really need to see those things to like believe them. But I think
Well,
it'd
the
be
question
more,
isn't like necessarily you need that more. Is
This
what would you
crystal
like
subtle
to?
way
What would you?
of saying your faith.
no,
It's more
no,
like saying-
I'm saying for me, watching it in person and reading about it has the same effect on me, because I just know it's true and I know it's fact. And
But this is what would you rather
feel like
have? And
it's
we
the
both
same-
know they both exist.
I know. I'm saying for me personally, I think listening to the Lord just like spew like his words would just be so like, already when I read like the Sermon on the Mount, already I'm like, catch me aside, like I'm done, like it like unravels me, like I'm like shook, like I get like, you know, what's those thing called, like goosebumps everywhere. So I can't imagine like actually hearing the Lord like say these things. I bet it would have like even more of an imprint on my heart. I guess that's what I would say.
I would rather see it.
I know, because it'd be crazy.
Period.
Because we already
Moving
have
on.
God's word. Like when I read his word, that's him saying it. But I feel like if
But
I
listening
saw
to
something,
him-
that'd be so cool.
I feel like I've seen God's work do stuff, but hearing his voice like speaking, I feel would just shatter me. I'd be like, you know what? I'm done. Take me out. I'm happy as can be.
Okay, the next one is actually, I think this one's going to be very like, you guys are going to debate about it. Would you rather have unshakable joy and peace, or would you rather have unstoppable faith and hope? Basically, all the confidence and all the faith you have in the Lord, like just as a statue.
Well, I feel like if you have all the faith in the world, you have so much faith that there wouldn't be any room for anxiety. That you would just ultimately
Which of the two would you want, Victoria? Okay.
I'm saying I'd want the faith.
That's what I would say too. Faith in.
Second
Juan,
one.
that was a weak sauce question. Give us something new.
Fine.
But here's the good news, everyone that's listening. The good news is that in Christ, all of the things we've been talking about, you can have. Like, you can have all of the above. That's not an option that Juan is giving us. But that's the good news here, is we don't really have to choose.
Okay, this one's actually kind of funny because it's a little convicting. So it's going along the lines with Jesus doing something or saying something. So would you rather hear God's voice, but what he's telling you is something super convicting? Or would you rather him like wreck your life so that you end up doing what he's called you to do?
I like it when God convicts me.
I think that's a positive thing. Like,
Well, no, it's
you wanna
saying
be
one
more
or
like
one or the
Jesus.
other. Would you rather have him like let's say you're a bank robber? Would you rather have God literally tell you like straight up vividly like you are a bank robber, you have to stop, like him just flat out saying it, like appearing and saying it? Or would you rather him wreck your plans of being a bank robber?
I would rather have him
I
convict
feel like
me.
those both go kind of.
They both go hand in
Yeah,
hand,
I
but
mean,
what do you think is
oh.
more extreme, or like what do you think is more like what you would prefer?
I'd say God coming down and telling me and convicting. I'd be like, okay, message received.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, there's no fighting it. If he's down right in front of me and he's like, Victoria, I'm convicting you of this, I'd be like, okay, you know what? Just go back up. I'll fix this down here.
Stop.
I'll meet you. I'll meet you up top later. Bye.
Like all them board games in the back.
I know, right? This is kind of going back to one of our previous points, but I just thought about it and it's funny. Sometimes on The Chosen, they'll be like, "Oh, we can't spoil season 5," and it like cracks me up.
Because you're like, I've already read the Bible, bro. You can't
They're like,
spoil it. I
"Don't
already
spoil
know
what happens at the end of season 6," and it's like,
Hey. No spoilers. There's some people who maybe haven't read and they're reading along with The Chosen. So
But
maybe
if
they
we
haven't gotten to
said
that part.
if we said that 5 years is the cap, this is 2,000 years old. the cap is gone.
Hey, for a book, okay? That was for books, not for movies.
Okay, guys. So for the last, I know we're kind of winding down here. I'm going to kind of quick fire ask some funny ones and we can just talk about them before, if Tati, you have a hot take. If not, then we'll just kind of close out. But anyways, so I'm going to start with the first one. Would you rather accidentally call your pastor dad in front of everybody or trip on your way to get communion?
Trip on my way to get
Accidentally
communion.
call my pastor dad.
I'd actually
Wait,
trip.
guys,
I don't know why.
feel like
That's
I've
less
done that
embarrassing.
before. I feel like I've done this before.
Both or one?
I feel like I've done this to Pastor Phil before. Why does this sound familiar that I said dad or something?
Yeah, I think you had a dream about Pastor Phil looking like your
No,
dad.
I've done that to a teacher before. I called them mom.
I've
Oof.
done that.
It was awkward, but you get over it. The other one is physical. You have physical ramifications.
And a lot of people watching.
But I feel like if you trip, people will just be concerned. Like, yeah, it's embarrassing, but be like, "Oh, are you okay?"
I don't want them coming to me and asking
Versus
me if I'm
like,
okay.
versus like if you call somebody dad, everyone's like,
Okay,
I feel like that I could just laugh off and be like, haha, my bad.
Okay, I have a genuine question because you brought this up, Vic. When you're like in a really emotional state and you're at the brink of like tears potentially, and someone comes up to you, regardless of who they are, and they're like, "Are you okay?" Does that just push
That
you
triggers
off
me
the-
so much. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's coming.
That pushes me off the deep end. Like that is like, okay, well, I can't stop it
because I'm
anymore.
trying to like collect myself, and then someone be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Dang it! You just opened the freaking floodgates. Here it comes." No, don't ask me if I'm okay.
I know. I told my mom to do that because she's usually the one that does that to me, and I'm like, you can't ask me this question. Like we just
"Okay,
move
here's the
on.
next one."
You're like, of course I'm not okay. I have tears in my eyes.
Do I look okay?
Okay, here's the next one. Would you rather be stuck?
I love Juan's long pause in between.
Because I was waiting for you guys to finish talking. Oh, girls.
Wait, I'll stop
Okay,
talking.
can I say something kind of extreme? A coworker today at work, because I work with a bunch of women, obviously, because I'm in nursing. One of my patients was like, those women over there, just a bunch of hen talk. I'm like, what's hen talk? And he's like, oh, it's when like women just talk about random stuff that mean nothing and you're just not paying attention and then you get in trouble for not paying attention. And I was like, dang, he has some wisdom there.
What, are you gonna stop paying attention when
No,
we
just
talk
kidding.
now?
Okay, anyways, back to class.
That sounds like something.
Would
Vic
you
says.
rather be stuck?
It does. It's the accent.
Would you rather be stuck at the potluck with only casseroles or only desserts?
Dessert.
Only desserts. Yeah, that
Dessert.
sounds yummy.
You guys don't like
Why'd you
casseroles?
give it
Some
no?
casseroles are
Okay,
really
I have
good.
to-
Heck,
No,
you
no.
freaking
Casseroles are
psycho.
bad.
Dude, casseroles are bomb diggity. Technically, lasagna is
They're
a
about mush.
casserole.
No, it's not. Lasagna's lasagna.
Taco casserole? Have you had that?
Juan, I think you're just
Those
making
suburb
stuff up.
moms knew what they were doing.
What are you gonna start making burger casseroles?
Dude,
now
burger
too,
casseroles
Juan?
are good too.
That would be
What do you
called
do?
meatloaf.
I was gonna say meatloaf. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs down.
That's
Everyone.
nasty.
Can I tell you that a couple weeks ago,
Whoever made that
I
has
was
issues.
out and I called my mom and I was like, "Hey, what'd you make for dinner?" And she was like, "Meatloaf." I'm like, "What the heck?"
I feel like
Since
that's
when
the
do you make
most
meatloaf?
white, low
Literally.
class trash meal you can make.
Vic, you're insulting so many people right now.
That's what we
The
used to make
casserole?
when I was
The
young.
casserole or
They're gross. I hated those. And sloppy joes. No more, people. No more.
Joe gotta get unsloppy.
I will say, pastas though are good. Come on, guys.
Vic lives on pasta.
Sketty's so good.
It's cheap. It's what I can afford.
That
I actually want to make. There's this new dish I want to try. It's spaghetti with gochujang and heavy cream.
don't try to say these big words and come up on here and act like we know
I
what you're
actually will
talking
say
about.
I made my own sauce a couple weeks ago for my pasta.
Did you add a
Yeah,
little
turn
bit
it
of
back.
oregano?
I did.
Wow.
Vic, how did you make it? Explain it to me.
Okay, it was feta cheese, with tomatoes wrapped around. I think it had crushed red pepper, olive oil.
This already sounds disgusting. How's this a sauce? You added feta
This is
cheese
not
to
a
a
sauce.
sauce?
No. So can you let me finish? I'm only halfway through the ingredients.
You're the type of people who made a burger casserole.
Don't associate with me with them.
Okay, hurry up, go.
And then like some other seasonings or whatever. Drizzle with olive oil. Put it in the oven at 425 for like 20-25 minutes. Then you come out, you pound it or whatever. You mush it all together, and it's a creamy red sauce. It's yummy.
Slipping through my
You could also blend
fingers
it.
all the time.
Mash it, blend it, potato.
Okay, I'm going to say this last one, and then we'll close. Are you guys ready? All right, guys, here's the last would you rather. Would you rather accidentally hit reply all to someone's prayer request at a Bible study group chat? Or would you rather, while praying, accidentally call someone's name by their ex's name?
I'm going to say the first one because usually if you're praying, you're not.
But what if someone's like, they sent you an email, right, saying like, hey, can you pray that I'm going through this divorce? And then you accidentally hit reply all and say, yeah, I'll be praying for your divorce.
But if you're not addressing them, then no one's really going to know. And if it does happen, you can just send out an email. Hey, guys, please disregard. That last message was not for all of you.
That's very professional of you, Victoria. I agree. I would go probably with the first one.
What if you do put their name on it? Like, hey XYZ,
Oof.
I'll definitely be praying about your divorce.
That's one
That's
of
why you don't
referring
address.
back to the other prompt. That's
I'll
why
just
asking
call
for
someone by their
forgiveness
ex.
when you hurt someone deeply is hard.
I just would call someone by their ex.
I think I would do the X depending how they ended.
All right, everyone. We have reached the end of our episode. We had a pretty fun episode, I would say, of Would You Rathers. And hey, put some Would You Rather questions for us down below, and we'll write a little comment back. If you guys have any silly ones, serious ones, whatever you got, hit us with it. But anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You had some fun listening to some of our crazy, fun, maybe serious questions. And if there's any that stuck out to you, let us know and put it down below. But in the meantime, have a wonderful, blessed week. Go out there, and I'll give you guys a challenge to maybe go and share the gospel with someone new, or go pray for someone and just get the name of Jesus out there. So that's going to be my challenge for you guys this week. But we'll be praying for you guys. We love you guys. We hope you have an amazing, wonderful week, and we will see you next time. Bye.